Hi guys, this is Gary Chan. This is a continuation of the previous video on how to streamline starting your utilities. So just to recap, I got cut off earlier because I believe I was running out of memory on my phone, so I deleted some of my older um, videos. But basically what I want to tell you is I turn on my utilities after working my house. Bad idea. What I should have done was come in here, check my electrical. If I did again, I probably would get an electrician out here and say, hey, look, it's been over 90 days since utilities have been turned on. I need to make sure my building's up to code. Do you have, do you work with the city? Whatever city you're in, do you work with the city to get the electrical all up to code? And if they do, come out here, inspect it, take a look at it. Let's see what we need to do to get this all up to code. It'll save you money on the inspections with the city. And then also, once you learn how, observe the electrician on how to do these jobs, it'll save you a ton more money if you know how to do it yourself. I'm looking at the work that he did, and I'm thinking, man, it's quite a lot of headache. For most people, I don't think it's an undertaking you'd want to do. But you could definitely seek out looking at other electricians, union or non-union, people with some experience that have done like electrical rods, putting in these bands, or running cable inside the conduit. Now that conduit, that cable you put in there, it's copper. What's really stupid is the city doesn't require that copper be used outside on the lines. So you're running really hot electrical on the lines outside the building because the city's running power on those power lines to your house, carrying way more power. And then when it gets to your house, they want you to use higher grade lines with copper that can rather than aluminum, because aluminum can melt when it gets overheated. They rather you use higher end copper 2-gauge cables going into your building. So anyway, long story short, some of these codes really don't make sense. This house has been here since 1939, and I haven't had any problems. Now the counter argument is people use more power nowadays, like laptops, computers, in-room heaters instead of natural gas furnace. What do you call those things? Those old boilers, or natural gas heaters. They're running more heating appliances. They're running hair dryers, things like that. And there is some argument to that. But this house has at least been occupied in the last 20 years, and the modern technology that's been being used in this house in the last 20 years isn't so much more advanced that people are using that much more power. Another issue is, now that I have power, part of the house isn't getting power that it needs to because one of the breakers is overloading and popping in the fuse box. So it's possible that that wire inside is touching some of the tube inside, causing it to pop. I'm gonna have the electrician come out again to take a look at that, so that way half of my house can get the power that it needs. On top of that, I had water turned on. A water meter was put in, and the guy that put that in said, I just tested your water. We've run water through your line, and you're going to have to get heat in this house as soon as possible, because in 10 days you're going to have sub-zero temperatures. The water's going to freeze in your line, and your pipe might burst. I was like, yeah, sure, I'll get heat in this. I'll just call the gas company tomorrow and get that on. So I got the gas company come out. He turned on the gas, and my stove wouldn't start. He's like, your valves, that the on-off valves to turn right at the local stove area, right at the furnace and the water heater, These are old. You need to replace these. I replaced those last night. So I'm getting the gas company come back out, and it could be an all day event waiting for them. Same thing with the electrical and uh, the the water, electrical, gas, all these utilities. Their appointments are the whole day. You could wait for them all day. So a more efficient way to have done this, if I do this again, and if you do this, is to get these utilities started during the summer so that your water lines don't freeze over. Get your electrical started first. Get your heat started second. Get the gas going. Then get the water. Water last if you're planning that the water could potentially freeze over in cold climate areas. And try to get all this going while you're rehabbing the house, because a rehab process could take, in my case, I was done with this in about 6 weeks, but this was a light rehab. So if your rehab time frame is 6 weeks to, let's say, 4 months, try to get the utilities on early so that also you have power to work on the house. Electric comes first, then I would recommend the furnace, and then water. I would say, generally speaking, those are the things. I mean, in that those steps, that's what happened in the last house. But I had electric already, and then I worked on the furnace, and I turned on the heat, and then water just and naturally came next because I was having a lot of issues with the city getting the water turned on, and they had to like tear up the whole road. And that whole process took like 2 months, maybe 3 months, just to get water service. So it just happened as a natural progression. This didn't happen like that. Um, so I'm still learning a lot, and I'm sharing this with you guys. I hope that this is helpful for someone out there. Thank you. You guys have a good day.